Permission to speak. I am the ally of the silenced and unheard. I am the shouting you cannot shake. I am the echo of degradation and dignity. Two sharp points like the prayers I carry on the tip of my tongue. I am the phoenix. The ashes of rebirth that are often found on the streets, in shadows and wild dances, in hundreds of new faces, in loud cities and quiet spaces. I am a combined melody chant, turned rally cry, turned anthem for anyone whose ears can hear it. Permission to speak. I am the phoenix. I am fire. I am ash. I am woman. I am warrior. I will fight until my breath gives out. I have come back to collect every piece of me that is you, that has been misplaced or mishandled, every piece I never got back. God bless the phoenix who guards the intersections of sacred and secular, a rare moment of absolute clarity, a vision of all things possible, a warm feeling you cannot shake. Home has never been a concept I've taken lightly. Home has growing pains and cracks in the foundation. Home has been on fire and dissected and reconstructed. Home is the belly of the phoenix, a place where fire learns to love like water and broken walls seem to mend, an intersection that deems everything holy. Truth be told, I've planted many seeds in gardens I know I will not get to see sprout, and I can never decide what is more painful, smoothing the knots of my tongue for the sake of the oppressor's aesthetic, or patience. But I refuse to be buried by dirt that was never danced on. Permission to speak. I am the ally of the silenced and unheard. I am the shouting you cannot shake. I am the echo of degradation and dignity. Two sharp points like the prayers I carry on the tips of my tongue. I am the phoenix.
Welcome to Risen, a ribbon-cutting ceremony for LaFenix at 1950. I am Marcia Contreras, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director at Mission Housing Development Corporation. We're happy that you're able to join us. The poem you just heard was written and performed specifically for LaFenix in 1950 by Aya Ampton. Thank you, Aya, for your powerful and very meaningful words. It's truly a monumental day for the Mission District, indeed, as we officially open the doors to LaFenix in 1950 and witness her rise once again. We're very excited to share our programming with you all watching via our Facebook page. Thank you for being with us, helping to celebrate the rebirth of this unforgettable moment, which is 1950. Now I would like to begin this ceremony by honoring the original owners of this land. To do so, we welcome Xucotl Danza Azteca and Irma Alvarado of the Instituto Familiar de la Raza for a ceremonial blessing performed at our rooftop garden here at LaFenix in 1950.
Él es Dios. Giving thanks for another day of life. We are here, Shikoa Danza Azteca, asking our ancestors of this land, the first people of this land, the Ohlone people, asking permission to offer our prayers, to offer blessings to this place, 1950 Mission Street, giving thanks to everyone that's here, that's present. Very thankful for this time, for this space, for everyone, for all the tenants that are living here, for all the work that has been done in community. We are very thankful and honored to be here to offer our prayers and our blessings to everyone that is that's already living here. And I'm really thankful to see the children that are enjoying this space, the moms and the dads and the abuelitas that are here. Just very, very thankful and grateful that we are able to come and provide this energy from our ancestors, from our abuelos and abuelas. So just very, very, very thankful and humbled to be able to be here on this beautiful day, acknowledging the wind, all the elements, as well as also providing healing for all of us that are here today. So just very thankful, and again, we are going to be offering prayers. We may not be doing acknowledging the wind. The wind is here. So just a lot of good thoughts, a lot of good prayers for all of the families and community, and also it's a celebration that has been put down, that has been organized, that has been worked within community, so that families are able to have permanent housing. And we're also, a part of our prayer for today, our intentions are that more community, more houses, more housing be available and affordable to our families, to our gente that's needed here in the Mission District, and acknowledging the beautiful city that we live in. So thank you, dos y tres veces, gracias. Él es Dios. Again, thankful for this day. Thank you for this beautiful sunny day that we are here. Again, we are Shikoa Danza Azteca from the Mission, from San Francisco. Just very thankful once again for the opportunity to put down some prayers for the families that are here, the ones that are here present. Like I said, honoring all of our children. It is the springtime, and it's really beautiful to see that there's gardens around here full of medicina, full of a lot of life, and just sending a lot of energy once again to all the tenants that are here, the ones that are going to be joining within the next couple of months. And I think the building should be completely filled with all the tenants, all the families by July. So just again, it's really beautiful. I believe this might have been Marshall School. I think this is where I came to school. That was like a long time ago. So just all the transition that's been happening in the community. Just again, just very grateful that someone is really taking care of our gente here in the Mission. So with housing, there's a lot of different things that are going on in our communities. But with the smoke, we're blessing this place so that it continue to be a really healthy community. And a lot of blessings to everyone that has put all the effort into creating this space, this beautiful space for community and for our gente. Thank you very much. And we're going to offer one more danza. One more danza. And these danzas are prayers that we are leaving here for the communities that's present. Gracias. Él es Dios. Él es Dios. How we started by saluting the 4 directions, the 5 directions, we are going to put it away in the same way. And again, just very full of gratitude for being able to come here and to plant these seeds of hope, a lot of beauty, a lot of love, a lot of light for our community. So thank you very much. Have a really, really wonderful day, full of energy and I hope that we're able to feel our medicine. Also wanted to thank all the danzantes that are here with us, offering and leaving the prayers as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Gracias, muchas bendiciones, many blessings to all of our communities. Él es Dios. You can't kiss it.
Welcome. It is a great honor for Mission Housing and Bridge Housing to officially cut the ribbon for LaFenix. Why LaFenix, you may ask? Because this ground symbolizes the rebirth of a sacred site for this community, one that has always offered new hope and a second chance to many. However, we would not be here with our various partners, and we definitely would not be here without the community support and the advocacy of many community leaders and organizers that fought throughout the years to keep this site as part of this community. We thank you for helping us secure this land for affordable housing. We celebrate you, and this moment is specifically for each one of you that help us achieve this milestone. LaFenix is part of this community and is here to stay. We now invite you to take a virtual tour of LaFenix at 1950. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to LaFenix. I'm Sam Moss. I'm the Executive Director of Mission Housing. Today is a truly joyous and wonderful day. We're here with Mayor London Breed, Supervisor Hillary Ronan, Mission Housing with our partner Bridge Housing. And I just really want to thank everyone, you know, from Ann Cervantes Design, David Baker Architects, to Swinnerton Construction, and everyone that built this beautiful, beautiful building and complex. It truly took a village to do it. And I think we should all take just one moment and give ourselves a round of applause. So good job, us. You know, it's 10 years ago, I was lost. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if real estate was the thing and whatnot, and I took a chance and I applied for an asset manager position at Mission Housing. And today isn't about me, so I don't need to go into how awesome I am, but Mission Housing gave me a community. Mission Housing gave me family. It gave me a purpose and hope, and it taught me that there is a better way to do things, and you can be happy and accomplish things. And that's what Mission Housing means for our residents, for the Mission neighborhood, and for the overall community. You know, we're standing here, this isn't just a pile of concrete and wood, and though it does look beautiful, LaFenix is about hope. LaFenix is about community. It's about artists, being able to focus on art and not worry about where their rent is going to come from. It's about families, being able to have Head Start and early Head Start, and our low-income children getting the help and the safety net that they need, that they deserve. It's about families coming together. It's about seniors growing old at LaFenix along with their families. And most importantly, you know, it's about a promise that Mission Housing and our partners Bridge Housing are delivering on to provide high quality, affordable housing for everyone. And so as we stand here today, it's great to cut ribbons and it's important to take time to smell the roses, but more importantly and most importantly, I want everyone to, you know, just understand the gargantuan lift that went into building Mission Housing. For decades, the community came together demanding this site. And once it was awarded, they stayed with us. The community still helped us from fundraising through construction until now. And so more than anything, I want to thank them. Thank you, community. And without further ado, I would like to introduce our treasurer, State Fiona Ma.
Thank you very much. It is great to see so many people here in person, still masks up, and we look forward to the reopening of California on June 15th. So it is a great day, and one of the best parts of my job is going to groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings. And I started here in San Francisco on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors back in 2002. And seeing how much San Francisco has changed over the years, but how some of the people who were here back then are still here, still leading the community, like Ann Cervantes on the architecture team, Sam Ruiz and Larry Florin, and now Roberto Ybarra taking over the helm at Mission Neighborhood Center. Josh Arce, a good friend of mine, who told me a little bit about the history and how long this has taken for this project, this collaboration to happen here today. And Roberto Hernandez, the mayor of Mission, I know is also going to be here. I also want to take an opportunity to thank the leadership of Mayor London Breed. She and her team call my office all the time about special and different housing projects here in San Francisco, and also to the supervisor, Hillary Ronan, for her leadership in making this project happen. I want to thank my partners because nothing happens individually, but it does take a family. My partner at the Housing and Community Development Agency, Gustavo Velazquez, is also here today and will be making some remarks. Also, our sister agency, California Housing and Finance Agency, and my two agencies under my office, the California Debt Limit Allocation Committee and the California Tax Credit Allocation Committee, that provides the needed 9% and 4% tax credits, as well as the bond allocation that helps to make such projects like this affordable for so many families, seniors, veterans, and disabled. I love the colors, I love the architecture, the artwork, and I know that the residents who will be living here are going to be so grateful to have a brand new, spacious, safe environment right here in the heart of the Mission in San Francisco. So LaFenix has risen. It's an amazing project. I recognize and congratulate the two partners, Bridge Housing as well as the Mission Housing, for this amazing project. And I would like to give a certificate of recognition to both of the agencies. Thank you.
Throughout its history, 1950 Mission Street has found ways to embody the phoenix that is now her namesake. Time and again, her spirit awoke in her midst and led thousands of lives to a rebirth, a second chance, an uprising. In the early 1900s, it served as a home of Mission Grammar School, a two-story brick building lauded for its architecture. By 1913, the school underwent a name change, becoming Continuation School, a place whose focus was training students to be workers after the more traditional forms of education failed. The theme of being an alternative form of education continued with the 1950 Mission site throughout its life. In the late 60s, while BART underwent its massive construction outside the school's walls, 1950 became Marshall Annex School. But the life of the brick building ended in 1973 when the school district made the decision to demolish it, making way for a flat lot that housed a dozen bungalows that served a diverse and challenging student population. By the end of the 70s, the changing demographics and social construct of the 16th and Mission Corner forced the closure of Marshall Annex. Dormant but not forgotten, in the early 80s, 1950 was reborn as the home of the Real Alternatives program. RAP quickly transformed the space into a place of refuge for the marginalized and discarded youth of the Mission, a community space guided by the presence of a phoenix.
When you walked in this gate, there was the phoenix painted on the bungalow. That was the first thing that you saw. And young people were given the assignment, what does the phoenix represent? And so young people at that time really began to deal with the homicides in the Mission in a way that was never dealt with, or it happened rather. And, you know, the phoenix goes to ashes and comes back up. And so we use the metaphor quite a bit as a teaching tool around homicides, community building, education, and just saying you can be whatever you can be, just believe, and the phoenix will be there for you. So we were a truly community-based organization with lots of needs, and lots of love.
RAP left 1950 in the late 90s, making room for the school district to reoccupy the lot and convert it into Phoenix High School in 1997. Much like RAP, Phoenix took in students whose traditional educational journeys had been left for dead. It was at Phoenix that young people from across the city were reborn.
I believe that the students, I don't want to overly romanticize the site, because in fact the support services that students really needed and deserved were not always in place here. But I do believe that over time, students recognized that despite some of the challenges of the physical site itself, that this was an opportunity. That notion of being a phoenix, that things had sort of crashed and burned in their academic education, but that there was that possibility for rising up above it and reclaiming their academic success by way of a high school diploma. So I do think that the students who bonded with their teachers and who came to school pretty consistently had that internal transformation.
But despite the efforts of teachers and students, there was no escaping the environment surrounding them on a daily basis. After a scathing report for a civil grand jury outlined the troubling situation outside the school gates, the district had no choice but to close the site down and relocate the student body. Once again, 1950 was dormant. It would awaken again, but not before the neighborhood and community rallied together to fight for seeing 1950 reach its ultimate potential as affordable housing. It's a fight that began in the 60s and 70s before resurfacing in the year 2000, with the community rallying behind nonprofits leading the charge to put public land in people's hands. After Phoenix High School moved, the community renewed energies, and a large education-focused grassroots movement restarted with hopes of securing the 1950 site, one long heralded as a sacred community space for much-needed affordable housing.
We saw how .com was really displaced. The first wave was displacing our community. We saw an uptick in homelessness. We saw a lot of people bunched up, living quadruple in a room, and we felt like, in addition to the tenant advocacy work and the tenant rights work, that we needed to build affordable housing. And so that was a renewed effort around 1950. And being that it was public lands, we felt like we had a bit more leverage. We had a bit more say, because these were lands that, those city departments are only temporary stewards. These are our lands, bought and paid for by the people.
In 2013, the community got the victory it desperately fought for, with the district reaching an agreement to exchange other properties with the city for the 1950 mission site. Nonprofit developers lined up to be the one to bring the historic site back to life and provide the mission with its first affordable housing project in a decade. In 2015, after 10 years of turmoil but with new leadership guiding it, Mission Housing Development Corporation completed a rebirth. The partnership with affordable housing mainstay Bridge Housing provided the stability they needed to help the duo win the right to build at 1915 Mission Street.
Winning this development, winning the right to build 1950 Mission, these 156 units, it just can't be understated what an underdog Herculean effort that it really was at the end of the day, to get so many people to come together and get to put this thing together, and then to get so many people from the city's perspective and the community's perspective to support us in a way that giving us the project wouldn't bring hell down on everyone. It was insurmountable as far as a lot of people were concerned.
But before a single shovel picked up an ounce of dirt, 1950 had one more chance to rise and give new life to hundreds of those stricken by homelessness. In early 2015, the city's first navigation center opened its doors and revolutionized the way San Francisco would deal with the homelessness crisis.
I think the navigation center model had many ways to look at how successful this new approach was. It was successful in that people wanted to come to it. And that was the most important validation that you could have. I mean, people are used to politicians cutting ribbons and saying something's great, but to actually have the people that use the service say, wow, this was different than anything I'd ever experienced.
Because of its success, 9 more navigation centers were built in the city with over 5,000 clients served. The Navigation Center at 1950 Mission Street closed after years of planning for affordable housing were completed. By the early portion of 2019, construction was well underway to bring 157 units of affordable housing to the mission. Hundreds gathered on a warm March afternoon to celebrate decades of advocacy. Not long after that celebration, during Mission Housing's 2019 Gala fundraiser, both MHDC and Bridge announced the new name for 1950 Mission Street. While many were considered, only one truly embodied the spirit of the site, one that through its numerous iterations, Mission Grammar, Continuation, Marshall Annex, Unity Junior High, RAP, Phoenix High, and the Navigation Center always stood for a second chance, an opportunity given when no others existed. This idea of rising from the ashes and being reborn. On that September evening, 1950 Mission Street was dubbed LaFenix at 1950. And today, we write the next chapter of 1950's history as 157 new families rise with LaFenix and call this space their home.
For those future leaders, those young people that are today 12 that will become community leaders in 8 years, they need to know this history. This building was just not a building. This building was a place of love and service, right? Love and service by the community for the community.
Buenos días a todos. What a beautiful video. Did an amazing job capturing the history of this sacred space. And I want to begin today by taking a moment to acknowledge the Olonis, the native brothers and sisters whose land we are standing on, and this beautiful space for living was created. I have some deep, fond memories of this space, going back to the 80s when it was an empty bungalows. And during the 80s, there was a lot of young people here in the Mission District who were being expelled and suspended from school because the way they looked, the way they smelled, the way they talked, they were referred to as cholos and cholas. So I went to the superintendent at the time, Bob Alioto, and I said, Bob, I know over 100 young people from my neighborhood, from my barrio, that have been expelled, and it is criminal that they're not being taught. It is criminal that they have just been abandoned. And so we have a vision. At that time, I was the executive director of RAP, the Rural Alternatives Program, a youth program that worked with young people in our community. And I presented him with a curriculum that was very different and unique, a way to teach math and science and reading and art in an alternative way. And I presented him the curriculum, and he actually spent 20 minutes, and I sat there patiently as he read the whole curriculum. And he got excited. And part of the curriculum included learning how to build a lowrider. And he told me that that's what really caught his eye. He said, this is really unique. You can teach young people about science and biology and math and how to read through building a lowrider. And so that was the beginning of us getting this space for $1 a year. Because I told him, I said, I know that you can't give us a space for free because you're the school district, but nobody will ever know that you're going to give me the space for $1 a year. And I said, and you're going to make money because every child that comes to school is going to get an education. And so we did. We opened up. We hired a couple of teachers from the community. Amazing, just beautiful people that had great hearts and souls and spirits that really wanted to educate young people, and that's why they became teachers. And so during that period of time, we had a 86% success rate. With the other 14, we knew that there were no way they would be able to graduate from high school, so we started a GED program. And those, 100% of them got their GED. And it was beautiful to see the energy of these young people who once, and a lot of them were considered criminals, become such positive force in our community. Today, I know of one of them, Ruben Martin, who is the vice president of the Union for the Postal Office here in the United States. He came out of this space. And then Phoenix, you know, continuation school was here in this space. And then the space was vacant for many years, and I kept going back to the Board of Education saying, let's build teacher housing. But it fell to deaf ear. Oftentimes, you know, people tell me, Roberto, I get it, but they really don't get it. And so finally we came back when we were being gentrified again in the mission and demanded that this space be for housing. And I want to thank, at that time she was on the Board of Education, Jane Kim, who eventually became the supervisor for this district. And we were able to secure this site for the school board to sell it to the city. And we got Mayor Ed Lee to come up with the money to buy the site. It was interesting that this site at one point became a navigation center for the homeless people, right in front, right here on 16th and Mission. And I got to tell you, it was just amazing to see how fast the city moved to open that navigation center. And when we had the ribbon cutting ceremony here at the navigation center, I went up to Mayor Ed Lee and I said, wow, how is it that the city was able to get this place open up so fast? He said, well, I summoned everybody into my office every week and told them we need to open this space. And I said, well, Ed, I think you got the formula down. How about you get that same formula to build affordable housing so it doesn't take 7 years to build housing? Well, that was, unfortunately, let him rest in peace. He's gone, and he was able to carry that formula. But it's exciting to be here today because to me, this is a miracle in the making. But most important, it was the power of the people. You know, and I want to acknowledge Oscar Grande, Poder, and everybody from that organization and our mission, No Eviction, because we came together and we organized and organized and organized and organized and organized. And let me say it one more time, organized to get this site, to get the funding, and to get this affordable housing built. You know, this is a site also that Mayor London Bree, at the time when she was president of the Board of Supervisors, we had a press conference here and demanded that the affordable housing that's built in neighborhoods, that there are people in the neighborhoods be able to live in these affordable housing, because we know that a lot of the affordable housing that's built is not for the people from the neighborhoods, often because of the lottery system that exists. And I also want to thank Sam Moss, you know, and Marcia Contreras, because both of them, I remember when Mission Housing, just like any organization, you go through your highs and your lows. And I remember when Mission Housing was first created, it came out of the Mission Coalition organization, one of the first organizations that was formed with the funding from the Mission Model Cities. And I witnessed, and I was a part of seeing how much housing was being built back then in the 80s, in the 90s for our community. But somewhere along the line, somebody didn't feel that it was Mission Housing, you know, should continue doing its work. And it hurted our community. But those two individuals, Marcia and Sam, I honor them today and I thank them today. And I got flowers for you today because I really feel that. In fact, you know what? Let me bring them up. Come here. Please bring me. I brought my wife because she's my beautiful flower. So. Here's Sam. Hey, come here. And here, Marsh, here. Thank you to both of you. And is Josh Arce here?
He's working hard at work for the city.
And is Oscar here? No, he's not. So anyway, I want to thank both of you, you know, because both of you really, your heart, your soul, your spirit, your time and your energy saved Mission Housing. And you planted the seeds to be able to continue providing housing for people in our community. Muchas gracias. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Blessings to all of those who are going to live here. And let's continue organizing and organizing and organizing. And I want to end it by saying, si se puede, si se puede, si puede. But in this case, si se pudo. Muchas gracias.
Hello, my name is Jeff Bennett. I work for Wells Fargo, and on behalf of Wells Fargo, I'd like to say a big congratulations to Bridge Housing, Mission Housing, the City of San Francisco, and all who worked on 1950 Mission, this exciting new affordable housing project in the Mission District. We're very proud to be part of the financing team for this. We provided the construction loan and the tax credit equity investment. Affordable housing is a big part of what we do at Wells Fargo. We've had a team dedicated to it for decades. I'm part of the team that works on nothing but affordable housing 24/7, and we understand the importance of affordable housing to our communities. I'd really like to commend the teams at Bridge Housing and Mission Housing. They did a terrific job of managing the project. A lot of hard work and ingenuity and getting over all those hurdles that inevitably come up on these affordable housing deals. And they did a terrific job. They were really an inspiration to all of us who were able to work on this. So again, on behalf of Wells Fargo, we'd just like to say a big thank you and congratulations. I can't wait till I can see the project in person. And we look forward to the next affordable housing opportunity in San Francisco with Bridge and Mission Housing. Thanks so much.
My name is Mia. I've been living here for 1 month.
My name is Maria Carrillo, and I've lived here for about 3 months. Moved in right before Christmas.
North Beach.
I actually was in a different program called Brilliant Corners through Larkin Street Youth, which is like right there on Golden Gate. And I was actually living in their shelter and was pregnant with him. So I actually asked my worker if my lease was coming up. I was going to be done. I knew that they weren't going to keep helping me. Where do I go from here? Because I'm not able to work. I haven't been able to save any money. I asked them if they had any programs for subsidized housing or supportive living. Lucky enough, this came up and she says, let's just hurry up and do the application process. The faster we get it done, hopefully the faster you get called in. And once they told me I was ready to move in, they had me come, sign the lease, and they brought me upstairs to my unit with everything in it. I didn't have to buy anything.
My experience has been well. People are nice. I have my own space upstairs, so it's been going well. Quiet. A service dog writer.
And do they like the building?
Yes, she likes the building. She loves it. A lot of space. Pet-friendly building.
Other than my unit, I actually really like the sixth floor garden area, little play structure. When my kids come over, I take them up there and let them run wild.
I think this is a good opportunity. I appreciate the gestures that they give you when you first move in. If you're homeless or just starting over, they come, your units come with a queen size bed, and you get pots, pans, dishes, towels, soap, everything for all your bedrooms. So this is a good experience in building community.
Like just a big breath of fresh air, because I've been homeless, struggling with housing my entire life, even as a child. Being here and that it's like focused on your income, and sometimes if you don't even have an income, like when I moved in I had no income and I signed my lease, and the only thing that they wanted was a $50 check that my case manager provided for them. I didn't need $1. I don't have to worry about water. I don't have to worry about PG&E. I don't have to worry about food. They even helped me with when he needed formula when I first moved in. They're like, do you need anything for him? Clothes, diapers, formula. Brought it all, because I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything. So I just love it, you know, that I don't have to worry about going anywhere, and it's not necessarily even though it's low income and stuff like that, the area and the building itself, it doesn't feel like it, you know what I mean? Like I grew up in Alamany until I was like 13. You know you live in the projects there. You know that you live in low income minority housing there. I love it here because I don't feel like that, you know, and I think that's really important for a lot of people coming out of a lot of stressful situations and not coming from anything. You don't want to come from nothing and then move into a place that's your home and still feel like, you know, you're not where you could be, because you feel good with where you live and how you keep your house and stuff like that. So I feel like people coming here, it'll kind of like give them that boost and motivation, you know, because it's like, I'm in a nice place. This program and this building I know is a really huge blessing for a lot of people.
Mission Housing welcomes you and welcomes our political partners who have joined us today and will be speaking shortly, as well as the members of both Mission Housing and Bridge Housing's Board of Directors. We want to take this moment to thank you for your leadership. We also want to remind you that the celebration doesn't end here after our ribbon cutting. Please make sure that you join us on our Facebook page to premiere the documentary, which is titled Together Designing the LaFenix, at behind the scenes on how this amazing monument in the mission came to life. We'd like to also take a moment to thank our development partners, which is Cervantes Design Associates, David Baker Architects, Swinnerton Builders, I apologize, Mission Neighborhood Centers, and Lutheran Social Services. As we continue our celebration, please help me welcome and advocate for affordable housing, someone who 5 years ago, when 1950 was still the Navigation Center here in the Mission, she stood a few feet away from here, and she let the city know that she was on her way to Washington, D.C. to demand neighborhood preference so families in this neighborhood could benefit from sites such as LaFenix at 1950. We are now seeing so many families benefit from those demands. Please help me welcome the Mayor of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited to be at LaFenix. Finally, it is here. You know, this project was so special for me because I remember when we were first opening navigation centers in San Francisco, and this was one of the first locations that we opened a navigation center to provide shelter and support to people who were experiencing homelessness. But before that, we remember this was a continuation high school. Sometimes when kids got into trouble, they had to go somewhere, and this was a place that provided an opportunity for kids to get their diploma. It was also a place where labor folks learned things, and I think Roberto Hernandez told me about some other activities that took place on this spot. But the point is, it's been so much for the community. And so it is so fitting that we're able to transform this space into 100% affordable housing for families, 155 units. And it is absolutely beautiful. I want to thank Mission Housing and Bridge Housing for partnering on this project. I was here when it was a navigation center. I was here when we broke ground on this place to build. And you would think that in bureaucratic years, and Cervantes, that we would still be waiting for this place to be built. But the fact is, it is not only completed, we have at least 50 families that are housed here as we speak. One of the things that I'm also really proud of is not only will 40 formerly homeless families have an opportunity to live here, but when I announced, when I was on the Board of Supervisors, that I was flying to DC on a red eye to get the federal government, to get HUD to change their mind about, Josh, you remember this, about neighborhood preference, the Latino community stood with the African American community. We talked about a lot of the injustices of what happened when we build affordable housing and how the government would come to communities and say, we're gonna build this housing and this housing is gonna make a difference in your community. But then we would look around and say, well, wait a minute, this housing is built, but no one from this community lives there. And so neighborhood preference, not only did we get HUD to change their mind when they said no to neighborhood preference and allow us to use that on projects like this, the state is actively engaged in making sure that when they provide funds, we're able to do it as well. So as a result of that work, we have at least 29 of these units that will be available of right of first refusal to the people who live in this community. And that's significant because we get thousands of applications for the housing that we build. But we want to make sure that when we do build housing, that people in the neighborhoods feel like it's being built for them, feel like they have a fighting chance. And Roberto Hernandez was there with me on the day when we made that announcement, because he and so many folks in this community, they have been fighting to make sure that the people who create the vibrancy of what represents the mission, the thriving Latino community, that they didn't get pushed out like we did, the African American community in the Western Addition. That's why this is so important. The work we do to reach out to the community to make it possible for them to have access to places like this is more important than it has ever been before. San Francisco is changing so much. It's not the city that it was when I was growing up. And that's why it's important that we recognize the inequities, the injustices, and the challenges that exist in our housing stock. And we make deliberate change, deliberate investments in order to deal with those inequities. Providing access to affordable housing is so critical, but making sure that those are struggling with homelessness, those that are struggling with affordability in San Francisco, those who grow up, born and raised here, and can't have access to the housing that's built in their neighborhoods, it is our role to continue to partner and make sure that when we provide projects like this, we're able to ensure that they are a part of this too. So we created not a new community, but we enhanced an existing community as a result of this projects. LaFenix, the Phoenix, the symbol of San Francisco to rise again. And currently, under this global pandemic, after being sheltered in place for over a year, we are emerging stronger. We are emerging even better than we were before. And we are focusing on equity in everything we do, whether it's dealing with this pandemic or dealing with access to affordable housing. This is one of the most important things we can do. And I want to thank Mission Neighborhood Centers. And Sam, this project started with you. I know you're semi-retired, but this project started with Sam Ruiz, who made sure that there was a child care on location. There'll be a bicycle repair shop. I don't know about you, but I don't really ride a bicycle anymore. But for the younger kids and the folks who use it to get around, it's all good. There'll be community space. This will be a community place for kids, for families, for folks here in the Mission. And I am so juiced over the fact that everyone who lives here can just walk around the corner and go to Pancho Villa anytime they want. That's the thing I'm most excited about. But at the end of the day, as we come out of this pandemic, we know there's still work to do. We know there's housing that still needs to be built. We know that we will continue to work with this community to make sure that we are investing in affordable housing, making the right decisions, being inclusive, using neighborhood preference, and building our partners and building our bridges so that everyone has a safe, affordable place to call home. Thank you all so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Mayor Breed, for your powerful remarks and for taking time to celebrate this important event with us. Good afternoon. My name is Smitha Seshadri, and I'm EVP of Development at Bridge Housing. Our mission at Bridge Housing is to strengthen communities, but we recognize that our developments can only become thriving communities if they provide safe, stable, and affordable housing for those who cannot find a home in a place where they once had a sense of belonging. As Cesar Chavez once said, to make a dream come true, the first requirement is a great capacity to dream, and the second is persistence. Despite the unprecedented challenges imposed by the pandemic, our presence here today to mark this moment is a testimony to the tenacity of countless people who came together to make this dream come true. Bridge is honored to be a part of a beautiful vision that began with Mission Housing several years ago, and we are thrilled to commemorate this huge milestone with our residents and our joint partners. We're proud to deliver the first 100% affordable new housing development in the Mission in many years, with 40 units set aside for former homeless families. In addition, the development provides ground floor space for a variety of community-serving needs, including a Head Start and gallery and workspaces for local artists who are such an integral part of this community and of this neighborhood. I would like to thank all our financial partners for their support, starting with the mayor and her staff at the Mayor's Office of Housing, the California Department of Housing and Community Development, the California Climate Investment Program and the Strategic Growth Council, the California Tax Credit and Debt Limit Allocation Committees, Wells Fargo and BNY Mellon, the California Community Reinvestment Corporation, and the Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco. I also want to express my gratitude to our project architect, David Baker and Associates, to our general contractor, Swinnerton Builders, and to several other consultants, subcontractors, and most importantly, construction workers who helped turn our vision into reality. And last but not the least, a big shout out to the incredible project teams at both Bridge and Mission Housing for their relentless perseverance over many years. Special thanks to Mitchell Crispel, Rebecca Bonds, Anna Holm, Sarah White, Michael Chow, David Schnurr, and John Lovo. I want to thank Supervisor Hillary Ronan for her support and invite her now to make a few remarks. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We are having a great day in the Mission today. We just came from the second, not one, but second vaccination site, just a couple blocks away. And now to be here to cut the ribbon on 1950 Mission is really, without exaggeration, a dream come true. I was looking up, I don't know if they're still there, but there's two little girls that were peeking out at this press conference from one of those windows. And all I could think to myself is, that's all we have to do, is point to those two little girls and know why we're doing this work and why 1950 Mission matters so, so much. About 8, I don't know, Sam, was it 8 or 9 years ago, as a wee legislative aide to my predecessor, David Campos, I testified at the Board of Education meeting asking them to swap this piece of land with the city for another piece of land so that we could build this incredible place. And to still be here, to be able to cut the ribbon and to look at what has become, to know that not only do we have, over 100 units of affordable housing, many for formerly homeless families, but that we have an art center and a childcare center and a bike repair shop and Acción Latina doing their amazing work here. It's a dream come true. And I cannot get over how gorgeous it is. Is everyone just jaw drooping or wide open going, are you kidding? Who wouldn't want to live here? It's incredible. So I just want to give my profound thanks to the Mayor, Office of Housing and Community Development. Eric, Sean, Kevin Kitchenham are here to celebrate this extraordinary achievement. To Mission Housing, to Bridge, you guys are just performing magic constantly. To our Mayor, London Breed, who is such a champion, not only of affordable housing, but of the mission and making sure that people from the neighborhood get priority for these incredible opportunities in apartments. Thank you. And with no more further ado, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing Gustavo Velasquez from the State Department of Housing and Community Development. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. Thank you so much for the invitation. I bring greetings from Governor Gavin Newsom. I know he would love to be here. He, as you know, he loves the city and loves these types of celebrations. I'm here on his behalf, on behalf of his administration, on behalf of the State Housing Department. And I was listening to the mayor, Madam Mayor, after so many years, I don't know if you actually remember this, but back in the Obama administration, I was the Assistant Secretary for the Office of Fair Housing at HUD. And one day, I get a call from her as the chairperson of the Board of Supervisors about this. I may get the project wrong. I think it was Willie B. Kennedy. I vividly remember that call about some of the things that she was talking about in terms of the local preferences we were given. I have to admit, a very hard time to the city back then. And I just vividly remember her passion, her commitment, her resolve for finding every possible solution, getting the partnership from HUD to get the approval. And I just want to say I'm so honored to share the stage with you now today after so many years. And seeing this, and now in my capacity as a state director of housing, is just such an amazing experience to be here and hearing you talk about taking the red eye, going to HUD, and fighting for what you knew it was right. And now I'm here many years with you on this project. But I just want to say it's fantastic, the opportunity. This is not you thanking us, Bridge Housing, Mission. I see my pal, Eric Shaw from the mayor's office, who we worked together in the past. All the partners, not you thanking the state for being a part of this, but us being so grateful for being a part of your vision and your resolve to finding solutions to increase affordable housing in this city. As we all know, something that every day we and the city looks forward to continue to achieve. And our contribution here is a small but significant part of the Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities program, which has financed more than 11,000 units of affordable housing up and down the state. This program is financed thanks to auctions from cap and trade proceeds. And this is a marriage, in addition to all the wonderful things this project has, a marriage of affordable housing and a better environment, and transit so close. We're not only making availability of funding for units, but also for gardens and rooftops that create more sustainability, more efficiency into this project. So that's kind of the essence of the Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities program. And we're delighted that we are part of this. We're delighted to be able to share our congratulations and our thanks to you for making over 150 units of affordable housing in such an incredible community, rich of jobs, rich of culture, rich of amenities possible. So again, on behalf of the state, thank you for having us. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Richard Ibarra, the CEO of Mission Neighborhood Centers. Thank you.
Thank you, Gustavo, and thank you, Marcia Contreras, Sam Moss, everyone from Mission Housing, as well as Bridge Housing. I want to thank you and congratulate you for this great accomplishment. It's an honor to be here today with Mayor Breed, whose work I've admired long before moving here to the city a couple months ago. It's also great to be here with Supervisor Hillary Ronan, who I believe this weekend will be part of the most important delegation with a caravan going down to the border from here with some of the local leaders to San Diego to work with to celebrate and support the children and teenagers who are there being housed at the San Diego Convention Center, who may eventually come here. So the more love and support we can give them with this Floricanto caravan, the more we can prepare the right future for these young people who have already been through hell and don't deserve any more of that. It's also great to be here with the mayor of the Mission, Roberto Hernandez, who several weeks ago took me on my first lowrider cruise for a real tour of the Mission. so I could understand it because it reminds me of my native Logan Heights in San Diego. But we had an interstate highway go through there. That never happened here, so the vibe continued, the leadership continued, and so I'm right at home here in the Mission. In these last 7 weeks, it's been amazing. I also want to thank Josh Arce. It's great to be here with Josh, the director of the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, who works closely with MNC as well. It's a pleasure to also acknowledge Ann Cervantes for her great work. Other partners, the Office of Early Care and Education, the Office of Head Start, Kevin McVeigh and Amir Ali from LIF, who've given support to so many of our projects, including here. Kim Edmonds, project manager, and her team at Ventura Partners. Our MNC team of Sebastian Alioto, Jose Rodriguez, Ron Bamba, who did a great job here as well. And of course, my predecessor, who set the table for my future success, Santiago Sam Reese, reading the wrong name. Santiago Sam Ruiz for his vision, tenacity, and partnership, because he helped, like so many others, make this and other projects a reality. Thank you so much, Santiago. In a few months, just across the courtyard here, we'll be opening up the new center there, the new child early care and education center. We'll have 15 teachers there giving families comprehensive service support for their health and nutrition, mental health, and disability support, as well as family engagement, support, and activities. I'm grateful on behalf of our board of directors and our staff at Mission Neighborhood Centers. And as Sam Moss said, we wish you many years here of love and success. Thank you.
"1950 Mission was ready to realize its ultimate potential. Decades of struggle and advocacy all led to this moment. It was time for LaFenix to rise and spread her wings. It was time to build affordable housing. A year after the Navigation Center at 1950 Mission closed its doors, the time had come for the Phoenix to begin rising yet again. Hundreds gathered on a March afternoon to celebrate decades of community work and struggle that led to the historic date.
Yeah, I recall when we were planning for a groundbreaking for 1950, and it was such a amazing experience to even go through the planning process of that celebration, because for us it was we were celebrating, and it wasn't just a celebration for Mission Housing, it was a celebration for this community that had supported the efforts of us getting there.
Thank you. You know, it is about time. I am so excited to be here to see the housing that we have promised this community, Roberto, finally get built.
This is the most, if not one of the most, I can say the most special neighborhood in this amazing city of San Francisco. And the reason is we have one of the most engaged communities in the entire country. They don't just accept the status quo and let things, continue to happen when 10,000 Latino individuals and families are displaced for the community. They fight and they fight and they fight to make sure that we build affordable housing again.
You brought me back, you took me back years. Rap school, yeah. This place, this land has touched so many lives. From a public school to a community alternative school, and now in the future, it will be an early Head Start and Head Start facility for 42 children.
That's not it. I want you to all stand up. You've been sitting too long. You know what? Here in the Mission, we everything we have is because we have fought for it. There has nothing that's been given to us. We have fought for every single thing. So I'm gonna just give you, for those of you who have not been part of the movement, today you're going to become part of that movement. I'm going to baptize you, and I'm going to baptize you like Cesar Chavez did to so many of us, and we're going to clap very slowly and then very fast, and we're going to, usually we say si se puede, but today we're not going to say si se puede. We're going to say si se pudo. All right. Si se pudo. Si se pudo. Si se pudo. Gracias.
All right, everyone, let's cut this ribbon.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Man,
Yeah.